secretary, she will take questions for, say, 20 minutes, she will deliver a statement, say on right of a vote, and then take maybe 15 minutes questions, and she will moderate, yes, Robert, yes, Jenny, and she can pick and choose, And when the difficult questions come up, she could say, next question. And when she felt that I was in trouble, she would say, time is up. That cannot go wrong these days, Maybe issuing Olympic Games commemorative stamps. That's easy. But if you talk about the new photos, you be careful. Not only what you say, your facial expression. In my days as Secretary for Security, I was criticized for looking too stern, not laughing enough, not smiling enough. And for myself, doing an election, it is very, very tough. Because nothing shows up a person's flaws more than the electoral process. The electoral process, the 66-day period, in my case, last year, 66 days, from the time I announced my candidature to polling day, was like a magnifying glass. All your flaws, all your pimples on your face, everything will be blown up, your past, Anything you could have done wrong in the past would be blown up and subjected to public scrutiny. I said I was 10 years younger than my opponent. Before that, a media person gave me advice. She said, when people ask you to compare yourself with your opponent, you could make factual comparison. Don't comment on other people's character, but you could make factual comparison. So I thought age would be okay, but that was not okay. So you do make mistakes. In an election, everyone makes mistakes. Again, I thought that was sexist. I mean, do you think the media would comment so much on a gentleman's hairstyle? But this is not confined to Hong Kong. In the West, it's the same. Although maybe, I think the broomstick comic book was a bit too gross. But in the US last year, I remember when Hillary Clinton went to Senate with a sort of relatively revealing talk, there was articles about Hillary's cleavage. Yes, the lady, at the corner.
Good afternoon. I would like to hear your suggestion about how to cope with criticism. Suppose you are in a press conference, you are criticized on some points you are making, and especially you think that criticism is ridiculous. Then what do you do?
Always hard for anyone to accept criticisms, or to apologize. It's always hard, particularly for senior officials. I'm sure you've noticed not many senior officials have actually apologized, And then I apologized for my role in handling or mishandling Article 23 at my press conference to announce my candidature. And after that, I ran into a member of public who clearly, he was no fan of mine. And he said that, 你道歉啊，可惜你面部表情唔夠好咧。Right to my face, your facial expression is not good enough, although you try to apologize. Maybe I have no idea,